the football game.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, gentlemen. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs taking on the Commanders on Monday Night Football. A little sloppy from Kansas City early. Mahomes had been picked off once before, and Nikki's picked off again.
Oh, yeah, tips and overthrows, Greeny.
Gotta get those.
Yeah. It bounces right into the hands of Bobby Wagner, makes the play. The Commanders are feeling good early. We got a chance, guys.
Sluggish start, so the game is scoreless. Now we're into the second quarter, and all of a sudden, hey, J-Mac, Travis Kelce's wide open.
You cannot play too much zone against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. He is going to find that spot.
And Jeff, that leads to this Kareem Hunt.
Look at that. Getting up in there. Half a yard. Hand it to another play. Don't let the quarterback score. Just hand it to another play. It's a little much more exciting that way.
Well, right at the end of the half, this is Marcus Mariota from Terry McLaurin. Take another look. He's initially ruled incomplete, but watch again.
Insane.
Spectacular play. Ball overtime. It is a touchdown. Jaden loves it. We're tied at 7 going to the second half. So we got a ball game, right? Wrong. Here come the Chiefs. Look at him, Neek. Look at the time he has to throw.
Again, this is just them being comfortable within the offense. I think Mahomes is waiting. He's buying time at this point. Not open downfield. Kelce knows at a certain time, you got to leak out and catch that ball.
6 catches, 99 yards for Kelce, and then extending the play on 4th down.
He did it so much last night of just keeping the play alive, using his legs, but keeping his eyes down the field to make plays.
Chiefs up 14-7, and then Jeff still in the third quarter. It's Kelce.
Look at that. Going back behind the ball, a little back. Makes that stab and catches it. Strength in the hands. Don't call him old, baby.
Old man strength.
Don't call it a comeback.
His 83rd career touchdown, tying Priest Holmes for the most in Chiefs franchise history. So we'll keep that ball. Chiefs up 21-7. 8 minutes to go. It's Rashee Rice. Boy, are they dangerous with this guy in the lineup.
Another touchdown with more than 4 seconds in the pocket for Mahomes. All 3 of his touchdowns.
This is when you grab the clicker. That's when you grab the clicker right there.
Go to the baseball game.
There's plenty of baseball left.
Rice, 9 catches, 93 yards. Chiefs go on to win big. Travis Kelce still doing it at a high level. 99 yards, his season high. 8 targets, tied for his most this season. And as mentioned, his touchdown ties him for the most in franchise history. Here's his quarterback.
That's the true chief of Chiefs, man. I mean, he is the guy that was here before me, sets the culture. He's the guy that is in the building early, in the building late, and he is the leader of this team. So to be able to get him that record, tying it, let's go out there and break it now.
Yeah.
Graziano, what did the Kansas City Chiefs prove to you last night?
Well, I like their chances of breaking that record at some point this season. Look, the Chiefs are still the team that you have to go through in the AFC. And this is the best their offense has looked in years. Now, talking to people there in camp in the summertime, they felt like the offense was really going to hit the ground running this year. They felt like things were in place. Then they find out about the Rashee Rice suspension right before the season. Then Xavier Worthy gets hurt on the 3rd play of the opener. And all of a sudden, there's a couple games where they're not themselves because they don't have their guys. Well, now they have their guys. Rice back from suspension. Worthy back from the injury, and you can see how different it looks. They have pass protection. By the way, even -2 starting offensive linemen last night, they're still protecting Patrick Mahomes well, and they have more speed and more dynamic playmakers in that receiving group than they had over the past couple of years. So they're incredibly dangerous. And by the way, the defense played well last night too.
One guy that they still have in that receiving room, of course, is Travis Kelce. And we went through some of his numbers. And, Jeff, you've got some tape on just how he's just there's a craftiness now about the way he's going about this.
You talk about big moments in games and not being overwhelmed by him. He's just got this, like, sneaky old man energy. He's just savvy. Like, right here. He leaks through, has a good block. You thought Rice scored on it. Next play, he's going to lead block for the Hunt touchdown. He's doing the dirty work, right? Now right here, he's blocking. He's a tight end. He's blocking. He's got all day. Okay, I'm going to leak out right here. Hits him, takes the ball down for 30 yards. Like, that's just knowing the situation, understanding that's not his responsibility. He's leaking out. And then right here, you watch him. He ends up coming to make this little play, little rub to help Hunt get open. He's willing to – you talk about, like, great teammates and why they talk about him. His hands are, they're next level, right? He's Hall of Famer. You know what that is. But it's all the other things he does, the rub for Hunt to get open late in that progression. He's willing to do the dirty work for his team. I think everybody's like, oh, it's past him. when you do stuff like that, you play forever because everybody wants to play with you. I just had a lot of respect for what he did last night.
It's like developing a post game when you're 35 because you no longer have that explosiveness.
Yeah.
He's figured out another way to impact the game. But I think his intelligence and the intelligence of this offense altogether is what's impressed me.
Yeah.
In the first half, they were getting a lot of man coverage and they weren't doing well with it. Second half, they come out with tighter splits, a lot of crossing routes, open it up, force the Commanders to go in the zone, and that's when Patrick Mahomes starts to eat. And I think that on top of all of that, they now have these playmakers where you see a short pass to Rashee Rice turns to a big game and a touchdown, all because he's a special player. Right. You see a screen pass to Xavier Worthy turn to a cross field, like reverse field, big play. Like it feels pretty scary.
Yeah. And I look at it like when you're playing Jenga, and when you take one piece out to what you were saying, Graz, without the Rashee Rice, it all starts to fall apart, and it didn't look as good. But now when you insert Rashee Rice, you can talk about Travis Kelce within that zone, finding those soft spots because he draws so much attention.
Yeah.
And it's where Andy Reid can place him. Look, right now they get in a wildcat. Now you have 8-on-8. But the guy that's going to be a free hitter to the ball is standing in the end zone. So now when Rashee Rice goes to take off, they have a hat on a hat in the run game. Everybody's blocked. The one guy that can make this tackle is so far off. I know he doesn't score here, but gets the ball all the way down to the goal line. Nick, you talking about playing zone. If you play zone against Rashee Rice, he's going to kill you in the middle of the field. Right here, he gets matched up with a middle linebacker and Bobby Wagner. We call this route the jerk route because it makes the defender look like a jerk. So right there, he gets to the open space, and it is a touchdown. And I can say that because I've been that defender, and I've had that happen to me as well.
Look, I mean, there is an air of inevitability about this team.
Well, because of what they've done, right? So, like, the best team in the AFC this year is the Colts.
Yeah.
They're 7-1, probably should be 8-0, and they're plus 116 point differential. They're killing teams. But the scariest team in the AFC is the Chiefs because they're playing at this level right now, and we know what the second half of the season looks like. We know what January and February looks like for Kansas City. It is much more difficult to beat them. So having the creativity of Andy Reid with the guys he has now that he can deploy to execute that creativity. Mahomes playing at this level, I just think it's...
We didn't even get the Spags in the defense.
I just said, like, that
great
was
last night. Yeah, they were great last night, and they always have something in their pocket, a blitz saved up for important third down or fourth down in the fourth quarter. They didn't need it last night, so they can save it for next. That's right.
Look at our analytics right there. They got the Colts and the Chiefs in a dead heat right now.
Let's go.
The AFC, we will see what happens. So now the dust has settled. Week 8 is complete. So let's do some winners and losers. Hey, Jeff Saturday.
Dan Graziano, Jeff Saturday. Let's start in the AFC, fellas. The Ravens are still in the playoff mix. Dan, is this an overreaction or not an overreaction?
Not an overreaction at all. I mean, I believe the Ravens are the favorites to win their division right now, even with a 2-5 record. Why is that? Well, a number of reasons. One, the Steelers are starting to come back to earth, and Ravens are only a couple games behind them. Two, the Ravens' schedule looks like it starts to soften up. The next time they play a team that currently has a winning record is December 7th, when they play the Steelers, who probably won't still have a winning record by then. And they're getting Lamar Jackson back. It looks like this Thursday against Miami, Ravens could be about to go on a real run.
Yeah, I agree with this. This is not an overreaction, which is absolutely insane. When you think where the Steelers were 2 weeks ago, they probably could have put a nail in the coffin, beating the Bengals, end up losing the Thursday night game, get a little mini bye, then come out and get completely outplayed in the second half of the Packer game. It's more of an indictment on the Steelers, honestly, than the Ravens. The Ravens are just kind of treading water, and they're going to end up getting in this thing once Lamar gets back. So it's not an overreaction.
Everybody except the Ravens in the AFC North did lose their game. All right, second one, Justin Fields will be the Jets' starting quarterback the rest of the season. Dan, overreaction or not an overreaction?
I think it's an overreaction. I think Justin Fields had a wonderful day Sunday after a really tough week and should be commended for how he handled everything. That said, we've seen the range of outcomes with Justin Fields, and the floor is extremely low. It is not out of the question with games coming up against teams like Cleveland and New England that Justin Fields struggles to an extent that, had Aaron Glenn thinking about sitting him down last week. So I think he's got a little ways to go. Great for him to have that big game against that Cincinnati defense that was probably just what he needed.
It was exactly what he needed. But I'm going to say not an overreaction. just for the long-term vision of the, you paid him this money. Let's see what he has. Give him an entire season to come through. You know what Tyrod Taylor is on your bench. You know who you have. If you're trying to build an organization, you don't really know yet. I mean, like Dan said, the floor is awfully low in a couple situations. But as you go through the season coming off a win, I would ride with Fields as long as you can until it's just obvious you're going to move on. Because once you do it, it's over. You're not putting the genie back in the bottle. He will no longer be a Jet. So, in my opinion, I think this is not an overreaction.
To be clear, I agree that that's what they should do. But all that same stuff was true a week ago, and it still sounded like they were going to bench him. So I do think it's possible they get to that point again.
Oh, for the record, I agree with you. I just think the Jets will manage this poorly. Okay, so finally, Dan, you start here. You give us a storyline, please, that we are underreacting to.
Going back to the Steelers, I don't think enough people realize how bad their defense has gotten. Every time you put on a Steelers game, the talk that you hear is like, oh, well, of course the Steelers are known for great defense. I'm sitting there thinking, this is not 1976. Like, this is a group that got very old, very fast, and is not winning its one-on-one matchups, is not making plays, and is a serious liability on a team where the offense has played well, but I do think has a ceiling.
Listen, I completely agree, although I would say I've been beating this drum for a while. This is bad. I mean, when the Bengals, who had not run the ball all season on a Thursday night, has over 100 yards on 10 rushes, you got problems. And then you back it up with what the Packers did in the second half of that game. It's insanity. When you think this is one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid defense in the league, people can run it and they can pass it. That's a bad formula in the NFL. You better take something away. They're taking nothing away. This is a bad group, and they've been very disappointing on that side of the football.
And this isn't like the 49ers where like half of them are hurt. Like, this is their group, basically. One or two guys have missed some time, but this is what they have. People are talking about the Steelers getting a wide receiver at the deadline. I think they should trade for some defense.
We got a bonus one. We got a bonus one real quick, guys. Given the state of the Steelers' defense, the Jets, the last winless team to get a win against the Bengals, who in the AFC North had the worst loss this week? Dan, let's start with you.
Cincinnati had one of the worst losses I've ever seen. I'm going to go with them. That's a have a meeting and talk about should we fold the franchise kind of loss.
I'm going Steelers here just because of the Rodgers and Love thing. And again, it's 2 weeks in a row of the defense doing what they're doing. You got no shot, and you're asking a 40-plus-year-old quarterback to carry it. Yeah. It ain't pretty.
All right, you can read Dan's entire column on ESPN.com. More from Dan and Jeff on Get Up at the top of the hour. Thank you, guys.